Hi everybody, so thanks for watching my video. This week I'm reflecting on, oh my goodness, I think it's my 5th week of student teaching, 4th week of actually teaching. And this past week I taught every day in class the entire day. So this was my 2nd week of teaching every class. And if you ask my cooperating teacher and maybe a few other people, you would realize that I've hit my wall or my breaking point. And the good news is I'm able to climb up over that. I love hiking, and I actually hiked Mount Kenya a few years ago and ran 2 marathons, so I know I have the perseverance. And I remember my cross country coach from high school, who was also my ag teacher. She shared with me, she's like, Jenna, if you can run a marathon, you can do anything. And so I'm putting that to the test right now. I'm running this marathon of student teaching because I know if I pace myself and keep pushing through and drink water along the way as you run, make sure you stay hydrated and healthy. I know that if I do all those things, then I can make it to the end and I can feel proud of what I've done. And if I do that, that means I could be a teacher. And I know that once I finish student teaching, I'll still have more learning to do. I guess a good teacher is always still a learner, and that's what I hope to be. I never hope to be one who gives up on learning, because then I'd be failing myself and failing those around me. So anyway, I'll start with some highlights from this week as I continued running. One of the highlights is I had a guest speaker come in on Monday, and that was great. This guest speaker, he dissected turkeys. He actually owns a turkey farm, and he brought turkeys in. And what I didn't realize is that it was a class of 11 girls and 11 students, 8 of them are girls. And I didn't realize that they'd be so grossed out by warm turkeys. And I was like, this is so cool. How authentic and real of an experience is that? And all my girls are like, ew, this is gross, and it smells, I'm gonna puke. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you'll be fine. Yeah, I guess I have a higher gross tolerance than them, at least with ag stuff. But nonetheless, it's an experience that they'll remember. And a cool positive from that is I really connected with one of the boy students in that class. Ever since then, I noticed in my other classes that he's been engaged. He's been interested. And that was neat to see. Other highlights is I changed a few seats in one of my classes, actually in 2 of my classes, and noticed a difference in the class dynamics, a positive difference. And I'm like, wow, as the teacher, I have the power to change their seats, and that can make our learning environment so much better. That's pretty neat. Let's see, other highlights and positives. Mrs. Rice came to observe me on Wednesday, and to be honest, I was really nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, this is an 8-hour test. And that's a really daunting thought. If anybody, like, an hour test is like, did I study enough? Do I have everything together? But 8 hours, I'm like, I felt like every move that I did was going to be watched, and oh, how am I going to persevere? And but towards the end, I was like, I didn't want Mrs. Rice to leave. Her feedback was great, and I'm like, give me more suggestions. How can I just change something little that would make a huge difference? So I really valued her insight and feedback, and I'm looking forward to her visit this coming April. So I should schedule that soon. Other highlights is I know that as I hit my breaking point this week with making sure that everything was planned, and even my planning was lacking, I need to do better. I was able to really focus on that and realize, okay, these are the things that I can do to be so much better. So this coming week, I know that it's kind of cool to be able to start the week and be like, my lessons are done. I'll have to edit things along the way, but they're done. I have the outlines to go with. This is great. So hopefully that will ease the stress, and then I can focus more on that content, which is what I would love to do. Let's see, other positives. My students like me. I told them that I wouldn't be in class on Friday, and some of the students they seemed upset. They were like, oh no, Miss Moser's leaving, this is going to change our flow, and we're used to her and her quirky personality. And I really believe that I'm building good relationships with my students. I'm making them feel like they are valued in the class. And I remember Mackenzie McCullum, our Appleman, I'm not sure her last name, sorry. When she came into our pre-student teaching seminar, she shared with us, she's like, more importantly than just teaching the content, you're teaching students. And that resonated with me. I'm like, yeah, I'm teaching students. I'm teaching people. Um, so it's really cool to be able to throw in those life skills and things there. So I'm working on my planning. I'm working on being a better student teacher, make sure that I can do everything correctly. I don't want to rush through things. I know I have before, but I don't want to. It pains me if I have to rush through things. So I want to make sure that all my lessons and things, that they're planned and ready to go, because otherwise I drive myself mentally crazy. So that means by default I drive other people crazy. So sorry about that. I'm working on it. Another cool thing that I want to try for this week is I've noticed a few people cursing under their breath, and college me is like, yeah, okay, people curse in the real world. But teacher me is like, no, that's unacceptable. You're not allowed to curse in this classroom. But one of the things I heard from my student teaching cohort this past week was they're like, tell your students to use professional language and be like, is this professional for this environment? And they said that just changes the environment altogether. So I'm going to pull that in my ag mechanics class. There's been a few students who have some loose tongues and say things like, say bad words. So I'll be like, is this professional language? And we'll see where that goes. I think that'll be cool to see. And then they can hold themselves to a more professional level. And that's really cool because I predict that a lot of my students in that class are going to go straight to the workforce. I don't predict that they're college bound, which is more than fine as long as they contribute to our society. But helping to get them to that professional level will be a cool challenge. So I have things that I can work on. I have things that I've done well. I have things I've done well that I can still improve. I'm liking what I'm doing, and that's cool. And uh, this coming week is National FFA week, so work the blue and gold, and things are good. So I'm going to continue climbing that mountain or running that marathon and persevering, because I know that in the end this will give me the skills and the foundation to become a better teacher, and that's really exciting. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and all my best all the time.